Alright, so we're going to shoot another video here. I got a piece of Georgetown here. Trying to get this camera. I was in the... had this all set up in the leather shop. And I'm just... hopefully this works out. Okay, so anyways, we got a piece of Georgetown here. It's a biface I made the other day. It probably might have made it on video, I'm not sure. But this is some of the material that I got for sale. And we're just gonna see if we can thin it out some and make a point out of it. So we'll go with a little direct percussion first and then go on from there. Let's see here. It's actually fairly thin already. I'll tell you, my leg's a little sore. I was spalling out some big tough stuff and took a couple direct misses into my leg. And these heavy pads, they work good, but not for direct hard swing misses. Swing and a miss. Anyways, yeah. Not 100% sure what we're going to make here. Really gonna have to get this base thinned out. It's got a rise there, but it's also kind of not sure about that platform. And when you're not sure about it, probably shouldn't hit it. I had to delete one of the videos this morning. It was on Flintknapping some more mookaite. And the point turned out pretty good. It just, for some reason or other, my UPS showed up or someone showed up, and I got up to take care of that and come back and forgot to hit the go button. We're gonna go to some direct percussion here. Swing you out just a little bit here. Alright. Anyways, so there was some missing video. So it made even less sense than it normally does. I really need to get this straightened out here. It's like an indirect percussion, I can tell you that. Yeah, I should have prepped that platform better. We still got this thick edge at the base here. it's a square edge that I left on there for some reason. I'm probably gonna have to take that in some to get rid of that. So I can sneak in behind it here. Let's see. There we go. Got rid of that. Let's see here. May need to put some shape to this thing and regularize the edge. Shape this thing up a little bit. Okay. Should have got rid of the square edge first thing, and I didn't. A little bit of trouble around the bottom of that. Okay. Okay, we got a few thinning flakes in there. We may make another knife blade. I still need some more knife blades. Or we might not. I'm not sure yet. Okay. Get this tip thinned out. We're starting to get pretty thin. Huh. I have to come back from this other side to try and get rid of that. Smack it too hard or not hard enough, or pressure in the wrong spot or something. I'm not 100% sure why that. When they're unhinged like that, the platform is wrong. You name it. Could have been anything. Eventually I'll figure those things out, I guess. So nabbit. That was too flat, I guess. Too flat, so I'm going to have to pick those off there. Alright. So try and take a flake across here and clean that up. And that went in there. It's got a little bit of a thing there, but I went in there and took out most of that hinge. We'll try and take another flake off of right here and kind of shoot it that way. And I did go in there and take that out, but still got this here. Be nice to come up from the bottom right here and into that. If I can do it without breaking it, or that's going to require a pretty hard hit from the bottom though. So I'm not sure about that, but it didn't travel all the way up in there. So we'll try it from this side. See what happens. Went across there and got it. Sure enough. Alrighty. We are pretty thin and pretty flat. So we're ready to regularize this thing. Got to tighten that up. Let's get it loose. This 1/2-inch copper rod, I mean, made all the difference in my indirect percussion. And it's about 10 inches long. This rod runs in here. And anyways, you can just run it in here, wrap it with duct tape or whatever. It does loosen up over time, but I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. I mean, obviously got a few things to take care of, but pretty happy with where things are at. We're going to go through here and do some pressure. And we're probably going to do it with an ishy stick because I've been napping a lot and I'm starting to feel it a little bit. I suppose if you napped every day, then, or most every day, you would build up all those particular muscles. I'm going to have to swing it out a little bit here, and I've got the camera in a totally different position because I'm still setting it up from getting it set back up from being in the leather shop shooting video, and I didn't get it back the same way. Dogs are carrying on. Starting to cool off a little bit, so they're feeling frisky, I guess. These flakes, that flake ran in there halfways. Of course, we're closer to the tip, so probably went about an inch, something like that. This is raw Georgetown. We'll have some spalls and matter of fact, that reminds me, I got stuff in the heat treat. Start turning up. Now this tip's got to come this way. It's got a curve to it. So we'll flake down to help bring it up. You see you flake down, and that brought the tip this direction. Looking pretty snazzy. People still say that, snazzy? Probably not. Some of my kids tell me I'm a dork. Alright. Hey, Mommy. Alright, buddy. Now, this guy won't leave me alone. You smell like skunk. Go on, bud. Go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. He will not leave me alone. Once he gets going, go. Pay you some attention later. Really, at this point, don't need to be any thinner than it is. It's already thin enough. So. Well, I've got a little thickness right here that I'd really like to get rid of, and I haven't been able to do it with pressure, so Had a little thickness right there to take care of. I hope I'm staying in frame. That is a constant challenge to stay in frame. All right. I'd like to run another flake across that maybe, but let's try that. Just getting nitpicky now, but I'd like to run a flake right there because there's a little bit of thickness right there. There we go. Ooh, she gone. Perfect. Let's see what we can do from here. If we keep from snapping it. Just running in, hitting it. It's just not quite climbing the heel. Not quite climbing the heel. Try and bring it in from the side, I guess. Didn't do it. Just didn't do it. It's not super thick, but it is thick, and I really need to get rid of that. I hate to bring out the big guns and snap it at this point. Or break the bottom or any of that stuff. Start out beside it first. Look at that right there. Boop. She's gone. Just switched tools and it took care of it. All right. We're good to go now. You know, I didn't even see that. That must have popped out after the fact. So that left a little dip right there. So I'm going to try and work around that. Not happy with that part. It's got a piece of whatever in there, quartzy kind of stuff. You're okay to leave that in the point. I just okay. I have to pull this out a little bit. I got different size screws in this one than all the others. A little bit larger. Got a little deeper thread to bite a little harder. One thing is, in these antler ones, you don't want to over tighten them, right? So I guess you don't want to in the plastic ones either. But you know what, I'm pressure flaking. They told me not to get zoom in a little bit here. But they told me not to get any cuts, and cuts is when I always... Pressure flake is when I always cut myself. They told me not to get any cuts before the surgery, so I'm gonna have to pressure flake this with a glove on. Just pressing in and down as usual on this part. I'm just sending some flakes in to thin that edge, get it more regular. I have to get this camera back in the whatever position I had it in before. This edge over here is pretty ugly because of that there. We'll get her straightened out, but one way or another, just gotta try and blend that in some. I did install a bit of a wave there in the edge, trying to straighten that out, but we're getting it worked out. Getting her worked out. I gotta constantly be reminding myself not to grip it with my left hand. It's kind of second nature now, but I still have to remind myself of that once in a while. I catch myself pulling on that pretty hard, gripping it pretty hard. So she's getting into shape. So if you're watching this, I've probably already released the building the neck knife series, part 1, 2, and 3. Part 3 left a lot to be desired, and I understand that. I did not have the tripod set up right. I think I give the overall gist of things, but I think you still got that out of it. But filming, especially in part 3, definitely could have been better. But I don't care if it's perfect, I just don't want to drive you all nuts. That'll probably pick out of there. edge. We just need to, I'm going to drop to my smaller diameter copper. Pick away at that edge a little bit. Pop that little step right off there. Good deal. We'll probably work on the base after I pick away on this a little bit. Let's see. I definitely need some pick off that side. Alright, pretty straight on that side. I got a lot of artifacts, not a lot because I don't have a big collection, but I got several artifacts, put it that way, that I'd say the majority of them. And the edge really isn't very straight. Some of them got a tremendous twist in them. And I'd imagine that that's just the experience of the napper that was doing it 7, 8, 9,000 years ago. Alrighty, they look pretty good. Probably gonna them dumb step fractures there, and they're fine. I mean, they probably look bigger on the camera than they are. They're pretty fine, but just don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to pop them off there. And our symmetry is off. The shoulder is too high, I guess. That's much closer. Yeah. It's been a pretty long day. I debated on whether or not to even come out here and do this, but let me pause y'all for a second while I figure out what's happening here. Probably got deliveries coming. Alright, so that little hinge right there is driving me nuts. So I'm going to try and take an indirect strike across right here and see if I can get rid of that. I probably can't do anything about those right there. but I just can't take that. So we're going to try and get rid of it. And I don't want to take a chance on it step fracturing again, so I'm going to whack it pretty hard. Yeah, took half of it out. Took half and then quit. Woo, we got it that time though. Yeah, buddy. Oh, that was kind of a dipping flake. I don't know what I was thinking there. I just thought, well, let me take one out of there, and I was afraid to step it, so I whacked it. Problem being is that now that spot's thinner than the rest. Because now we're really thin. I'm going to have to thin the rest of it to match. So try and blend it in. Alright, I need to get a couple flakes from this side. I got up and went and did something, and that broke my concentration. I didn't come back and think about it at all. I just started hitting on it. And that put me in the position I'm in right now. I just cannot get that to come off there. There she went, at least most of it. And that probably weakened it enough that I'd get the rest of it with pressure. Let's see here. I'll put that other glove on. Can't have no new cuts. Distracted napping is never good napping for me. If I have days where I can just turn my phone off, not taking any deliveries, and not answering messages and all that kind of stuff, and just concentrate on napping, then my points are much better, much bigger, because I'm not thinking about all the stuff I have to do or I got going on, and I don't have the skill set to just be on cruise control at this point. So But we'll just say we were going for a super thin point. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out, obviously, but I got rid of a bunch of that. It's just got a little tough spot right there, and just having a really hard time with that. So I actually wish I would have left it thicker. But that's the problem with getting distracted. So I haven't decided exactly what I'm making here. I was looking in the book, trying to figure something out. I'm actually going to flip through there right now and see what I'm going to make, and I'll be right back in just a second. Alright, so I think I might make a Baker's Creek. So kind of the right size there, and all we're going to do is bring some notches in here and something like this. Yeah, it's gonna have a little expanding stem down here. Yeah, I think we're gonna make a Baker's Creek. Don't have quite the right shape for, although you could make a Beaver Lake. Let's make a Beaver Lake. We're gonna make a Beaver Lake, or attempt to. All right, so get rid of those marks, and all we're going to do on this, we're going to take the sides in a little bit here, something like that. That'll cause that flare there, and then we're going to bring this up kind of like that, and we'll have a more or less a Beaver Lake. There is definitely some variations in, I'm looking at the book here, and there's definitely some variations in the width, and yeah, as long as we create a shoulder here and we got the base right, we're gonna be good. That's what we're gonna make. We're gonna make a Beaver Lake. I've made those before, but I haven't made one in a while. I've seen another point in there that I want to make that we'll probably make out of some Georgetown or maybe a piece of that root beer. I'll leave you all in suspense for that. So I'm not gonna do anything else until we're gonna create the general shape here. Just notice how high that hump is right there. There we go. There we go. We knocked that off of there. Good. Well, this isn't an abrupt change, it's gradual out to the shoulder, but I'm going to leave that way while I get this other side lined out. Come on. Doggone it. Trying to send flakes in there if I can. There we go. We clean that up some now. All right. Could have made a little harden out of this if you wanted to. Although I prefer my harden to be a little bit bigger, but they did make some small ones. But just for looks, I like the looks of a large harden. Of course, this one ain't small. This point is still over. Not sure how long it is. Let's look. 3 inches or so. 3 1/4. So it's still not a small point. Those are a little bit abrupt, looking at the examples. But we'll work on that a little bit. And this base varied a little bit as far as the depth of this bottom concavity, it looks like. Which I'm sure they I'm sure they varied with every napper just like it does today. All right. So we're flat, but we're not really concaved yet, so we gotta do that now. Let's see here. It's got a little undetached flake right there. I'll have to pick that off with the... I don't believe I can pick that off there. With the right tool, maybe. Alright, I'm going to have to wait till I get to my other bucket there and straighten that out. But we're a little out of whack. Hopefully this don't turn into one of those things where I pick at it and pick at it and pick at it till there's nothing left. Looking pretty good there a little bit ago. So yeah, this side's down. A bit too much. This ear is way lower. Probably didn't have that in frame, did I? I don't know if these bases were ground or not. I'll have to read on that. Medium to large size landslip blade, flaring ears, and concave base. It's associated with the Cumberland but thinner than unfluted Cumberlands. Base areas are ground. And blade edges are recurved. It's been found in deeper layers than the deeper layers than the Dalton, and it has paleo flaking shoulder area. So that might be a little too complex for me. All that, I don't know, that's a lot going on. I would still like to run a flake right there. There we go. Now that blended that in pretty good. If I could run another flake right here and blend that in, then we'd be looking pretty sweet. Come on, baby, run. She did, she ran across there. So not bad. The only other thing I'd like to do, and it might mess it up, is get a flake to knock that little thing off. There it went, knocked it off there. Alrighty. So I should have maintained some more size. I made a few mistakes there, and coming back trying to get it as, I wasn't even trying, but getting it as thin as this thing is I don't know if you guys can tell how thin that is, and it'll look thinner when this edge is finished. Yeah. It does have a lenticular shape. So it's not completely flat. All right. I really like this Georgetown. Of course, most everybody does. It's got really good tensile strength, so it's not as snappy at all, but it still flakes really, really nice. And tensile strength is important for me because I tend to still snap them. Not as bad anymore. Okay. We pretty much got it. That's more or less how it should be. I wish that wasn't on there. I'm going to try and pick those off, but we're going to clean up the edge a little bit, and that's going to be that for this one. So, hopefully this little bit of edge picking don't turn into disaster. I have a tendency to mess them up right at the finish line. Alright, we're going to switch to my little tool here. Knock the burrs off of it. And get my dome pad out. When it has, you got flint that's got this kind of tensile strength to it, it makes for an incredibly sharp edge. Okay, we don't have to go in there because these had ground bases, so not that I care about going all with doing everything in the description, because I don't, but we're gonna try and get it close. I suppose the bases were ground for afting the piece. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna pick these little bitty hinges off, clean those up. I kind of, although that spot was a problem spot, I'm kind of glad I was in it. It gives it a little character. I've learned in the leather shop that there's, in marketing products, and because I'm my own shipping, receiving, I'm the mail room, product design, development, marketing, all that stuff, and I'm just barely good at all that, good enough at all that to keep myself buried. Wouldn't be running a corporation and keeping 1,000 people busy, but I could fumble my way through it good enough to have made the leather shop pretty successful. So managed to scratch out a living doing it for the last 13 plus years. I'm not sure how it would work out, but I mean, you have to have the skill set to back it up, and I had the skill set in leather to back it up, but trying to market some of my rock stuff in the same manner, starting out the same way, and I got a pretty good blueprint to follow from what happened in the leather shop and how it progressed, and got it so that I got all the work that I need. But I would like to be able to do that with the rock, because I'd like to be able to do the rock stuff along with the leather, just to break the monotony of it. So that's part of the deal with the rocks, with the collecting rock and selling rock and all that stuff. I just enjoy it, and it breaks the monotony of being in the leather shop every day. But you guys that go to the same job every day know what I'm saying. It's pretty monotonous. So that's that, I think. I'm going to go through and I'm going to try and pick those off, and a few of these really fine fingernail fractures, try and pick some of those off. Pretty well straight here. The base is a little thinner than this part, but I'm afraid I'll start losing too much width when I get up there. So if I start doing too much more, and it's very thin, so it's pretty nice. Here's examples of the Beaver Lake. So pretty close. It's actually very close in size. This one's a little bit longer, but it's very close in size to that one. Base pretty much looks the same. This base, I might need to, well, if I start messing with it. Got one little spot right here I'd like to make that go away. And I always end up picking at it off camera a little bit. Not much to show you guys, you know, just picking off little tiny fingernail fractures like that with just an X-Acto knife or whatever. But anyways, that's that. I don't know if there's any. Yeah, there's some more beaver lakes on this side, and you can see some of them are pretty good size. This one matches pretty close. Some of them were a little more pointed at the top. I mean, look at this one here. That dude is narrow, and it's about 5 inches long. And this one, I didn't measure what we started with to get loose in the length, but a little over 3 inches. So, yep, pretty cool. This is also one of my points I really like, is the Beaver Lake. And I like the beaver tails, and I like the turkey tails. So those are all some of my favorites that I kind of go to. But I've got one here I've just seen back here in the back. This one right here. I want to make this right here. Now I'm not even sure. These are Alaska points, and I'm originally I lived in Alaska for a good part of my life. My wife's from there, so I think I'm gonna. There's even a polar bear here, effigy point, that they found. I might make one of those. 1,200 years before present. And I guess this is that's the whale point. These are the Newarks. Or maybe these are the Dutch harbors and this is the Newarks. I don't know, I'll have to look that up to be sure. The way they got them listed in here, I'm not 100% sure, but I like to make that point right there. So probably in an upcoming video, we're going to make this point here, and might do a polar bear. That came from Point Barrow, Alaska, which I've been there. So I've been all over Alaska. But that sounds pretty cool. I think these are going to be upcoming videos. So not sure what I had marked there. All right. That's it. I'm going to get in the leather shop. I'm probably going to be doing some filming in there today. I'll finish cleaning this up a little bit, and that is going to be our Beaver Lake point. Material's probably not. I believe I'm going to be able to pop that right off. Anyways, material's probably not correct. I don't know. I didn't read on that, but that's it. Y'all have a great day. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. I said in a previous video, like when we get to 100 or something, I'll do some sort of giveaway. Not 100% sure how to do it, but I think you know, if you're a subscriber and you tag someone in the comments, you'll be entered, and each time you tag someone, you'll be entered again. And so you put their YouTube thing in there or whatever, something like that, or just comment. You know, if you don't have no one to tag, then just comment and that'll enter you. And I'll use a random comment selector, and we'll give away. I'm gonna have several different prizes. There's people that do leather that watch these, and there's people that Flintknapp watch them and stuff like that. So I'll have several different things to choose from, and we'll do a giveaway when we get to 100, and then maybe we'll do something else when we hit 500 and we hit 1,000, if that ever happens, if I live that long. So anyways, there's our point. Hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for checking this out, and keep napping.